Religion and Realization by Diamond picked up in the street, episode 18. Diamond's yogic interpretation of Sri Ramkrishna's metaphors from the Gospel of Sri Ramkrishna based on his own lifelong divine realizations. March 1882, place Temple of Dakshineshwar. 19. Alas, he is not free, already married. Continence is an essential requirement for attaining God in the body. All animal passions are but obstructions to the way of God's freeing and manifesting in the body. Sri Ramakrishna said, the man who has renounced the pleasure enjoyed in the company of a wife has really given up all the pleasures of the world. Everything on the face on the earth takes place as God wills it. The man is fettered with a wife at the will of God. So in this case, it appears that God's grace is less. Had he been favored by God, there would have been no marriage at all for him. 20. Ah, me! He is not only married, but has also got a child. Sri Ramakrishna said, a son is born of me, and it is reckoned as a second birth of my own body. You, in another form, are your own son. The full measure of your body has come down at the birth of your child, as he is come out from your body. It means a loss of potential power in you, so there will be very meager emanation of God in your body, and you are not favored with all the knowledge of the sportive forms of God in you. The body is required to be kept intact and in an unsullied condition. Then there will be an emanation of God in the body in full measure. All the sportive forms of God will be seen. The mystery of life and death in connection with the world and everything else surrounding you will be solved. For instance, the world you see appears to be before your eyes, but really it is not so. You have seen God within you. Then you will come to see that this world is in God within you. Your knowledge of self-ego plus body is but a mirror and the world is reflected there. So you are seeing the world in the outside, but it is exactly like a mirage, something not in existence but appears to be true and real. 21. Is endowed with goodness, that means Vidya Shakti, or badness, Avidya Shakti. Goodness is conscience, renunciation, love of God, etc. Badness is to have a keen worldly attachment, to have more creature comforts, devoid of the sense of right and wrong, having no respect or regard for God, etc. God has manifested himself in everybody in the form of life force, and in some this life force is tinged with goodness and in some again with badness. Why there is such difference? It is predestination. What is predestination? It is very clearly exposed in the story of Prahlad in the Mahabharata, a mythology of India. Prahlada was sent to school when he was but a mere child. He saw the first alphabet, a K, and tears rolled down from his cheeks. K is the first alphabet in the list of letters in India. Krishna, the name of God as described, starts with K. The alphabet K reminded Prahlad about Krishna. His love of God burst out seeing the simple letter K. Kidi Prahlada was not aware anything of God. It did not matter with the child, but tears came out spontaneously. The spontaneity signified predestination. 22. And you are blessed with knowledge. The man who has got knowledge of himself is called Jnani. Who is he? The body must be in full bloom youth, that is between 24 and 25 years of age. There will be no defect in the body. God in full measure will come out and accumulate in the cerebrum. God the preceptor will point out and show God or Atman. Then succeeds various 40 forms of God, and they will annihilate time and space. Then comes the realization and consciousness from within that I am not body but I am God. This state is attainment of knowledge, and he who has attained this state is called a man of knowledge, that means Jnani. This is but the first stage of attaining knowledge, as in full knowledge there remains no ego consciousness, and beyond that comes out divine consciousness to give out, not I, but thou, that means God. 23. Yes, have you got faith in God with form or without form? God emanates from the body and is transformed into no ego consciousness. And again, from no ego consciousness comes God with form. Nitya and Lila, from Lila to Nitya and Nitya to Lila. God with form is seen in the fourth seat of the sixth plane. Here the devotee sees his God with form. You are a devotee of Jesus, and if God in you takes pity on you, then he will come out from your body in the form of Jesus, and he will see him. Nay, you may even talk with him, though not in all cases. There is another form of higher realization of God with forms. Jesus you see before you, but that Jesus will be transformed before you, in your very eyes into Mary, and Mary again may change into Sri Ramkrishna, and so on. It makes you conscious that there is one God, but he appears in various forms. God without form starts from seeing the Atman in the cerebrum till God, after various sportive forms, reaches and is transformed into no ego consciousness. And if God wills, then he may descend into divine consciousness only in give out, not I, but thou and thou. 24. But cling to your own faith. If God makes one understand all about God, then one understands what God is. If God out of his own accord emanates and manifests himself from and in the body, and realization in full degree covers at every stage of transformation of the life force to God, then God is seen, understood, and can be spoken of. Nobody knows who is God or what is God. If God makes himself known to you, then you are in a state to know. 25. No, no, not clay. The image is made of God's light. Sri Ramkrishna. A real devotee sees that the image is made of God's light. At first, a shining light is seen all around in the image. Then the light develops and covers the image. The image appears to be made of light only. This light does not come from outside, but it emits from the eyes of the devotee. First, it takes the shape of image in outline, and then it covers the whole image, and lastly there remains the form of image made of God's light. The God is within you, and from there comes out his light through your eyes and shrouds the image. Apparently on the surface it appears so, but if a deep penetration is made, then it transpires that the devotee is seeing this image of light in his own brain, and the happening before his sight is but an outward reflection of his inner condition. At this stage, the devotee is not in a position to demarcate the inside from the outside. He knows that it is an outward occurrence. An occurrence of Thakur's life in the form of realization is quoted here, which will throw light over the confusion of inside or outside. Thakur once saw that eternity came out of his body. Thakur prayed to his Divine Mother to do away with the man. The Divine Mother at once hacked the man into pieces, but there was no blood there in the outside. Thakur witnessed the whole episode within him, and nothing happened in the outside. Another realization is cited here, which will throw more light and clarify the thing. God is seen, then various sportive forms of God are also seen. By such continuous realizations, the body becomes very light. At this stage, it is seen that God with form comes out of the body and enters the body again. God in the body makes you know that God with form seen in the outside does not come from without, but comes out from your own body.